Thank you, Devin. And the AARP is saying that 67,440 people in the United States will be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2025. In the latest reports coming from the American Cancer Society. So we are joined now by Nurse Christina Paris this morning. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
It sounds like we're going to be talking about pancreatic cancer this morning. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. So yeah, and it's one of the scary ones, which is why I haven't talked about it before.
Well, we got to cover all the issues.
We do, and I feel like more and more I'm hearing of people being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. So it is important to talk about.
Right, you are. So let's start easy here. What's the function of the pancreas to begin with here?
Yeah, absolutely. So the pancreas, it's a organ that's kind of deep. It's hidden behind the stomach, which makes pancreatic cancer hard to detect early. And the pancreas creates or makes hormones that help regulate blood sugars. It also helps create an enzyme that breaks down food. So it helps with digestion and regulating blood sugar. That's the main purpose of it. But yeah, it's an important organ, and it's a fussy organ. It doesn't like to be messed with.
So what are some symptoms to look out for if we think it's not working quite right?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of people will have pain. That's the main thing. And it's going to start from the front and go to the back. And so the pain kind of regulates or moves. And also, there's going to be weight loss. You're going to have maybe dark urine or light-colored stools. You might have some jaundice, which is yellowing of the skin. Some people will feel like an intense itching all over their body, although you can also have itching from just not having really good diabetic or blood sugar control. Fatigue, nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, or unintentional weight loss. So those are kind of big factors. Anytime you have those type of symptoms, you should go talk to your doctor.
All right, good advice there. So how and when do they conduct genetic testing to sort of get ahead of this situation?
Exactly. So a lot of cancers, actually not just cancers, cardiovascular disease, neurological diseases, genetic testing is a great way to kind of predict if you're going to be affected. You know, for example, you could buy a suit off the rack and it might be fine, but if you get a suit tailored, it's going to fit better. So same thing, they do genetic testing to see what it's going to respond to, what types of treatments are going to be most effective. And the things that will provoke someone or a doctor to want to do genetic testing or make you think that maybe that's a good thing for you is if you have a family member who's got a known or really harmful type of cancer, like breast cancer. We have the BRCA testing for that. Cancers that are diagnosed at a young age, like colon cancer before the age of 50. There's different types of cancers that occur in the same person. So you might have lung cancer and prostate cancer, I don't know. So there's different things. Also stages with our relatives that have it. So like brothers, sisters, mothers, and then cancers in both organs. So like both kidneys, both breasts, things like that. Those are more prevalent genetically. Rare types of cancers, for example, breast cancer in males. And then other known birth defects, things like that. So that you're gonna wanna get tested or get genetic testing or talk to your doctor about it.
Well, that is good advice. And so after you do all this testing, how is it going to be treated afterwards?
Yeah, so pancreatic cancer is treated like most cancers. They're going to do a combination of radiation or chemotherapy. And they'll do, you know, depending on the severity and the type will depend on what type of chemotherapy they use. Again, you know, this is where the genetic testing is really important to make sure they tailor it specifically.
Well, right, you are. It's always good to get on top of that. You know, it's never a fun time to, you know, be dealing with any sorts of these issues. But the best thing you can do is, you know, be knowledgeable, get ahead of it, you know, and sort of address it as it comes up,
Absolutely.
as fast as possible.
Right. So knowing what your family medical history is really important, particularly with pancreatic cancer. If you have like a history of pancreatitis, you're going to be more at risk for developing pancreatic cancer. They've also found people who smoke and have diabetes and that are uncontrolled, that can also put you at a higher risk too. And pancreatic cancer is one of the fastest growing cancers. So that's what makes it so dangerous, and one you want to stay on top of. So having those conversations are important.
Yes, they are. Well, thanks for coming on this morning and telling us a little bit more about the pancreatic cancer and how to stay on top of it. But we'll be right back after this commercial break with What's Trending.